of the fear-based thought system of having to have this, having to have that. I can't live without this. I can't live without this person. I can't live without that. True salvation is the realization that I'm in the world but not of the world. I am one with God. There is no true separation in the truest sense of the word. This is something else Christ was saying when he said, I and the Father are one. He was speaking from that spiritual context. I and the Father are one. You and the Father are one. Who's not one with God if God is all there is? And when you come to that realization, when experientially you come to the realization that you are one with God, in that moment, that is what salvation is. Now, the only thing that can keep you from the experience is having a fear-based thought system and having the need to need. You'll be lost, and you'll create your own hell, as everyone in this world is experiencing to varying degrees.
So you don't have to go through Jesus Christ to find yourself.
Absolutely no. And as a matter of fact, now Jesus, don't get me wrong, Jesus came here to teach man how to create this transitional experience, how to have that transformative experience within themselves.
So it was misinterpreted all along.
It was misinterpreted by many, including his original apostles. When they were right there with him, they didn't quite grasp the magnitude of what he was saying. It's very simple and very complex, both. Mm-hmm. They didn't get it. As a matter of fact, if you look at some of the doctrine that was presented, and some of the things that the apostles said, that Jesus said, there was some things, this one said it that way, that one says it this way, that one. And so it's very interesting that they didn't universally have the exact same conscious understanding of what Christ was teaching. Even then, the ones that were one-on-one with him, never mind somebody who interprets something and then interprets it, and then teaches it to someone else. It's very, very twisted and very far from what Christ originally came to teach. Now, Buddha, for example, talked about withdrawing from the world and going within self and detaching from all of the outward world. Basically, was teaching the exact same thing that Jesus was teaching when Jesus says, if you wish to be my follower, you must forsake everything and everyone. They were teaching the exact same thing here. If you go within yourself and you've detached from the world, or you've forsaken everything and everyone, and elevated everything to a spiritual level, now everyone is equal. Everything is equal. Same message, same truth. What little I know about the Bhagavad Gita, I touched a little bit, I read bits and pieces of it, and I saw that was basically teaching the exact same message. To answer your question, no, you wouldn't have to go on one particular path. However, Jesus was one of the great masters, and Jesus did teach a way to salvation. Absolutely right.
In your book, Prophet or Madman, you really talk about creation, evolution, so forth. Why do we surround ourselves, or let's just talk about creation, for example. Why do we surround ourselves with numbers and geometry? Does that come into play at all?
I would say in this particular dimension, you have patterns, and numbers and geometry are an intricate part of patterns. So yes, in this dimension, it depends on where you wish to focus yourself. If you wish to focus yourself and stay and look at the details of one particular plane, they have a place. If you wish to bring it to a higher state and a higher level of awareness, then they don't have the same significance. Einstein one time said, I wish to know how God thinks, the rest are details. If you wish to know how God thinks and you experience life as God thinks, then the details are irrelevant. They are relevant, however, to anyone who chooses to maintain this frequency and stay here. Then they have a purpose, and there are patterns there are patterns that repeat. It's been said that you either understand the past or you're destined to repeat it. And there are patterns and cycles